don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Okay, y'all, come on in the room, take a seat, pull up a chair, honey. Let's talk more about Porsha Williams Guobadia and her soon to be ex-husband. You guys, we talked about this a few days ago. Porsha Williams has filed for divorce against Simon Guobadia, and more information has come out. So let's jump right in, guys. Let's jump right in. So we're hearing information with regards to Porsha Williams and her soon-to-be ex-husband, Simon Guobadia. Porsha has stated that she has no room for reconciliation, and she is moving forward with the divorce. I recently did a video and I stated that Simon had, taken to social media and stated that he is going to continue to love her. And in so many words, he's stated that he was going to try to make it work and he was going to love her until their divorce, is pretty much what he said. Well, we talked about that lawsuit with that jet company, which is close to $1 million, y'all. Now, I don't know who would want to be in a private jet so much that they would indebt themselves to $1 million. Listen, y'all could just put me on Delta, because guess what? If I had $1 million, one thing is for certain, I'm going to keep my million. But Porsha has petitioned the judge and she wants the prenuptial agreement to remain intact. Now, think about it. Simon is supposedly this wealthy individual, but we have Porsha who is petitioning the judge, asking that prenuptial agreement remain intact. So what does that actually tell us, and what does that actually mean? It means this, and it's really simple, that there's a lot of more information that we will be hearing soon. Of course, we know about that jet company, but I anticipate that there is going to be some more information that's going to be on these Atlanta streets, just for the simple fact that Porsha is asking that the judge keep that prenuptial agreement intact. I mean, Porsha and Simon were only married for 15 months. But the fact that she is asking a judge to leave that prenup and don't mess with that prenup is a telling story all in itself. And I'm going to jump into some more information really, really briefly with regards to Porsha's prenuptial agreement with Simon. And also, if you guys recall, her and Dennis was going to get married, but the prenuptial agreement was part of the reason they actually didn't get married. So it's interesting to find out that Porsha actually signed a prenuptial agreement with Simon, being that he's so wealthy and he supposedly have all of this money, supposedly way more than Dennis. But in fact, she did not want to sign a prenuptial agreement with Dennis, but sign one with Simon Guobadia. So one might want to know, why did Porsha sign this prenuptial agreement with Simon, but yet and still with her daughter's father, Dennis? That was a point of contention because she did not want to sign a prenup. Okay, which makes you kind of think, the fact that you guys were married for 15 months and now she's filed for divorce, but yet there were prenuptial agreements in place. So I want to now get into the situation with her and Dennis. And why did Dennis opt to not marry Porsha? What was originally going on to the fact that Porsha did not want to sign a prenuptial agreement with Dennis, but yet and still she got married to Simon, signed a prenuptial agreement with Simon, and then not only did she sign this prenuptial agreement with Simon, Porsha maintained her home in Duluth. If you guys recall, when she was in a relationship with Dennis and Dennis had lived in her home, she had an issue because Dennis did not get rid of his other property. She felt like he should move in with her and then get rid of the home that he currently had. But yet, and still, this is a similar thing that she did in her marriage to Simon, in which she kept the property that she owned, moved into a home with him, which is supposedly their marital property. Y'all see where I'm going with this? So here's the deal. Porsha did not want to sign a prenuptial agreement with Dennis McKinley. If you guys watched the show, you saw that they went back and forth around the idea of Porsha having to sign a prenuptial agreement. So we know Dennis does have a lot of money. If you Google him, you guys got to understand is usually people with a lot of money, they're not updating Google to reflect their accurate earnings. So Dennis definitely has a lot of money, and Porsha wanted to make sure that she didn't miss out on anything had Dennis decide to cheat on her again, as she has ran that story down 1,000 times. And as she stated, that was one of the reasons that they had broke up. Although Dennis, apologized, it just seems like him and Porsha just was never on the right page. So it's very interesting that with Dennis, she did not want to sign a prenuptial agreement. However, with Simon, she married him right away. Well, Dennis, she got pregnant right away. So I guess it's about the same thing. But the fact of the matter is, she did not want to sign a prenuptial agreement. I can't get it out, y'all, with Dennis. But yet she signed one with Simon. Doesn't that tell y'all something? I believe that Porsha knew some things about Simon originally, but maybe she just wasn't that sure and wanted to test the waters, because the fact that she signed a prenuptial agreement with a man that is supposedly so wealthy, it doesn't add up. It seems like she signed a prenuptial agreement because not only was she unsure about Simon, she wanted to protect her own assets and make sure Simon did not walk away with some of Portia's money. So the reasoning behind Dennis and Porsha not marrying is for two reasons. Porsha refused, and when I say refused, she absolutely refused to sign the prenuptial agreement. So generally, the way it works in relationships is the one with the least money don't want to sign a prenup, because if all else fails, or if you cheat or whatever that may go wrong in the marriage, they can come back and say, hey, they want half. And Dennis and Mama Gina, they wasn't having it. But it's interesting that Porsha signed this prenup with Simon, because that girl knew Simon didn't have that money like that. Porsha knew that. That is why she signed a prenuptial agreement. Now she's asking the judge to uphold the prenuptial agreement. Why? Because she actually has more money than Simon. So yeah, that is why her and Dennis are not married. For one, Porsha did not want to sign that prenup. She wanted to have half of whatever Dennis was worth and be able to walk away if Dennis were to cheat on her, or whatever they would come up with regards to, whatever her percentage would be if the relationship for some reason did not work out. But in all honesty, I feel like if Portia and Dennis could have better communicated, I think that they would have been a better couple. However, it just did not work out. Dennis did recently make a joke and basically said that he has the money and his daughter knows it. We know that Dennis was taking a crack at Simon, and especially Porsha, because that is the man that she chose. She chose Simon because Dennis wasn't moving fast enough and Dennis wouldn't do what she wanted him to do. But that's just not how a relationship works out. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you all in the next video.